The abomination of desolation is the image of the beast. The beast from the sea is Satan's kingdom on the earth. Satan is the god of this world and reigns on earth through the emperors. This is why the Old Testament prophecies address Satan as the king of Tyre or the king of Babylon. Because in their day, the king of Tyre was the image of the beast, the man that represented the kingdom. In his day, the king of Babylon was the image of the beast, the man that represented the empire. Satan reigning on earth through its kings. I have explained in great detail how history does repeat the story of the Revelation over and over from the micro to the macro, so that Antiochus Epiphanes was the image of the beast in his day. Nero was the image of the beast in his day. The man that represented Satan in Satan's kingdoms on the earth. All this talk of one world government is Satan trying to take over the whole world, bruh. Satan is a spirit. He doesn't have an image on the earth. He doesn't have a body, and so he reigns through the kings and the emperors to have representation here. And all this talk about his image, look, you need an image if you're gonna rule the world. The image is what's gonna rule the world. What are we talking about? Well, when we're talking about the beast from the sea, we're talking about the spirit of Antichrist needs an image to rule the world in. That's why John said the spirit of Antichrist is already in the world. Everybody who doesn't believe in Jesus, bruh, is working for the devil by default. Because they've never been born again in the spirit, they are only alive in the flesh, and the devil is the king of this, you see? The god of this is the devil because he is the god of this world, and this is of the world. Meaning the children of the flesh worship Satan as God instead of God because they're not alive in the spirit to even know him at all. When we say Antichrist, we don't just mean he's against Jesus. He's against Jesus because he wants to be Jesus. And so he tries. Why? Well, Jesus is the image of the invisible God. Wait, the image of God is King of Kings and Lord of Lords on the earth. Satan says to himself, I'm a god. If I get an image down there, I can reign on earth. Because an image means a body for the spirit to dwell in and operate through. And that's God himself's business, to manifest in the flesh. But Satan's kingdom killed Jesus when he manifested in the flesh, and he went to hell, like men do. But Jesus had the keys. He made the doors. He made hell. He made everything above hell, and then everything above that, and then everything above that, and everything that was made. So the gates of hell could not prevail against his kingdom. He walked right out of there and took folk with him. And then he rose from the dead, and so did those folk he grabbed. And then he ascended into heaven, and the important thing to know here is, woo, he's gone. And he didn't reign on earth. He didn't take over. Dodged a bullet. The devil thinks, because he don't know how this actually works. He ain't seen it done yet in real life. Like the whole part about Jesus coming back, the angels can only imagine what that's going to look like. It hasn't happened yet. It might be written down. They might know the plan and this, that, and the other, but they have never seen this done. They don't know what it looks like or how to do it. But they did see God manifest in the flesh in his image on the earth. They saw that part. The angels saw that part. And the devil is going to get thrown down to the earth and forced to try. Now, in times past, the Spirit of God would fall upon men and God would operate through men. And in that same times past, the spirit of Satan would possess men and he would operate through those men. But God didn't have his own body to walk around in those times. Until Jesus was born. Now he's got his own body designed for him, by him, to walk around in. And Satan is busy on earth concocting that same scenario, working out that same formula, so that he can have a body to walk around in down here. Not the king of Tyre, not the king of Babylon, not the Pharaoh's body. His own. Like Daddy did. My own body like Daddy had. And when he gets that body made, when the image of the beast is ready for him to indwell, God's gonna say, oh yeah, you made that bed. Lay down in it. And when Satan finds out he can no longer go back to heaven to accuse the brethren before the throne of God, I thought the devil was in hell. You thought wrong. He has never been. You see those Old Testament prophecies that call him the king of Tyre and the king of Babylon? Compare him also to the angels that quit heaven to come down to be gods on the earth and dwell in images and mate with women. They all got bound in chains and thrown in hell when the world got flooded, and God compares Satan to them. This is what's going to happen to you. As the days of Noah were when angels fell from heaven, so shall it be when the Son of Man returns. Angels once more are going to fall from heaven, Satan and a third of them. A different group than the angels that fell in the days of Noah, but same story repeated. Same story, history repeats. And on that note, as history repeats, it perfects and advances. And it takes a whole age for the story to actually run on the macro. The first age, the story started and ran from the time of the Garden of Eden all the way through to the flood, and then it started over in a new age after Noah got off the boat. The age ended and a new age began. The story started over. That ran through to the Exodus. That age ended. The story culminated in the Exodus. That's why you can overlay the Revelation right over top of the Exodus, and it's the exact same story. Same plagues with the trumpets and all that, same stuff. Same chronology, same timeline. You want to know when the rapture is? It's at the seventh trumpet. They had to paint the blood of the lamb on their doorposts, remember? They were still in Egypt while it was all going real bad, remember? Anyway, that second age ended in a literal battle of Armageddon. Egypt had to fight in the Valley of Megiddo right after the Exodus. Same chronology, literally. Recorded by the Egyptians themselves. They added a new god to their pantheon. Amun-Ra is the god of Moses in Egypt, being recognized by Egypt. So after the Exodus, the third age began. The Hebrews went into the land of Canaan. That third age ended just like this story said it would, with Jesus being born on the earth, and a literal Armageddon. The Romans coming to throw down Jerusalem in a flood of bodies. The third age also ended in a flood of bodies. Now we are in the fourth age. This story is running bigger and better than it ever has before. There have been many antichrists in this age. Schmidt was one of them. But the Antichrist is on his way. The abomination of desolation is Satan himself, indwelling an image that he commanded men to make for him with their own hands.
Something like this right here.
Satan and 1/3 of the angels of heaven are coming down to the earth. Way more than came down in the days of Noah. And he's going to command men to build him a body, and men will worship him as God incarnate on the earth. No, we are not there yet. This is history repeating in the micro. It ain't even going to look like this. This right here is primitive. Our technology is about to advance about 20 million years into the future without us. Unless somehow you're joined to it literally. And now we're talking about the mark of the beast. The singularity. Think of the Borg from Star Trek. We are one will take on a whole new meaning. We are legion will take on a whole new meaning. But the mark of the beast doesn't come until after the image of the beast comes. And whoever doesn't bow down to the image of the beast is killed. A multitude from every nation, creed, and tongue are killed for not bowing down to the image. The abomination that causes desolation. What desolation? A multitude from every nation, creed, and tongue. The image of the beast is the abomination that causes that desolation. And the desolation that will follow as a result of that heinous crime. That's what gets Babylon thrown down. Babylon, spiritually called Sodom in Egypt, where the prophets were slain and also our Lord was crucified. The image of the beast is Satan's attempt to be Jesus on the earth. But he's going to try to get it all done at once. He doesn't understand. Ye must be born again. Satan loses his morning star, his heavenly angelic body, at the sixth seal of the Revelation in the future, and he gets thrown down to his earthly image. Ye must be born again goes backwards for the devil because of his ambitions. All who fear God's name, small and great, started off as flesh and blood dirt from the earth, but will be born again as spirits from heaven in the first resurrection, a massive upgrade. Whereas Satan was born as that and is going to end up as this stuff made of the earth down here. However, this is made of the earth. It don't matter what you made it from. And so what hope of salvation could there be? Bible clearly says, those who were once partakers and have clearly tasted of the heavenly gifts, if they should fall away, it is impossible to renew them to repentance. They already knew the story. We're waiting to find out in faith. Trusting God and doing his instructions and what he commanded us to do in faith of what that's going to be. We've never seen it. But being born into it and being partakers of it, and then you're going to fall away from that to come do this down here, that's the wrong direction. You see, Jesus was God on the throne in heaven, and he humbled himself. He took upon himself the form of a servant, was made in the likeness of men, became obedient to his own law that he wrote for men, all the way to the cross, the flesh showing perfect submission to the spirit. The devil ain't gonna do that when he comes down here. He's gonna try to be God. Jesus was God, didn't try to be God while he was a man, because God ain't a man. And if Satan wants to be God, being a man ain't gonna get it, though he will try.